Hello YouTube. Come say hello. Hey everyone, welcome. Oh, for goodness sake, up here. There we go. Okay. Welcome back to the Twisted Hazel, everyone. Today we have part 2 of my bootcut jeans. Really? Is this what we're going to do? Come on, move. All right. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Twisted Hazel. This is part 2 in our bootcut jeans reviews, my little series that I'm doing at the moment. And today we have on a pair of vintage Wranglers. So I've never owned a pair of Wranglers before, let alone a vintage pair of Wranglers. And I have to say they are fast becoming, if not my favorite pair, one of my favorite pairs of jeans that I own. They're incredibly comfortable. The fit is fantastic. And while the color may not be set for some people, I absolutely love it. So Wranglers is one of the big 3 denim companies from America, the other 2 being Lee and Levi's. Wrangler is the youngest of the 3. They officially became a brand, I think, around 1946. Their parent company at the time went all the way back to about 1919, but Wrangler as we know it today really started about 1946, whereas Lee and Levi's go back into the 1800s. So it was around 1946 that Bluebell, which was the parent company of Wrangler, introduced the Wrangler jeans. That was the first, I guess, official Wrangler jeans, but they didn't introduce the bootcut jean until 1969. They were actually the first to introduce it before Levi's and Lee, who actually didn't release their bootcut jeans until the early 1970s, I believe. So Wrangler at the time were really specifically a cowboy western rodeo brand, and they introduced the bootcut jean for obvious reasons, so that it was more comfortable and easy to put your boots, your jeans over your boots. So they are really one of the granddads of the bootcut jeans world. So the other innovation that Wrangler brought to the denim world in the 1940s was broken twill denim. Now, most denim these days, and most denim back then, was what was just called a twill weave denim. So you'll notice that twill denim has a diagonal weave pattern on it, and that the downside to that is that with washing and with drying and with aging, the denim would actually twist. You would actually get what's called leg twist, where basically the denim would start to twist around. And even on really old, it's improved over the years, but even on very old denim, you would actually find that it would almost twist so that the seam had twisted right around to the front of the jean. Wrangler introduced broken twill, which essentially alternated the weaving pattern, so that which actually is evident in sort of a crisscross pattern. And basically that just eliminated that leg twist issue that regular twill denim has. So it's something that they introduced very early on, and even through to today, they're pretty much the only major denim company that still makes most of its jeans from broken twill denim. So getting to the vintage jeans that I've got in particular, it's a pair that I found online, and I particularly like them because they seem to be in fairly good condition, which they are. If you've seen my unboxing video, they are in excellent condition. Very little, almost no damage on them, very little fading here and there. What the hell are you doing, Macy? Oh, for God's sakes, dog. Oi. Bloody hell. Can you not? Play with the stick over there. Bloody hell. Sorry, dogs don't want to let me do the video. What attracted me to these jeans in particular was they have some features which allow me to date them to a fairly specific time period. It's around about 1976, 1977. The first thing that helps me date them is that they have a Scoville zipper, and Scoville zippers were pretty much introduced in the mid 1960s, early 1960s onto Wrangler jeans. But the most specific thing is the care label tag. So around 1977, they changed from having a perpendicular tag to making the tag parallel. And these particular jeans have a perpendicular tag on them. So they're definitely older than about 1977. But the thing that really dates them for me is in 1976, they basically trademarked a term that said no fault. And they printed that on a lot of the care tags. And that was only introduced in 1976. So, and these have both a perpendicular tag and a no fault stamp on them. So they're pretty reliably dated to about 1976, 1977. The other thing that obviously dates these is that they are made in the USA. There are still some Wrangler jeans being made in the USA, but the vast majority of Wrangler jeans are made overseas. Yeah, they're definitely a good vintage pair from the mid 1970s. And just very quickly, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a like. It really helps our channel grow, helps push out our video so other people can see it. And if you want to see more of our videos and keep up to date with all of our latest videos, why not click that subscribe button as well? That'll really help us out. As I said, it'll help the channel grow and it'll allow us to make more and more videos and more reviews for you all. Thanks. What are the features of these jeans? So they are a regular fit bootcut jean. So they're not particularly slim in the thigh. In the 1970s, their bootcut jeans came in, I think, a slim cut, a regular fit, and I think a loose fit as well. But these are definitely a regular fit. They are slimmer in the thigh, but they're not really slim and tight fit like your cowboy cut that you get these days. They do have a flare at the bottom, obviously boot cut, but it's not huge like a pair of bell bottoms or something like that. So they're very comfortable. The other thing about them is they have a high pocket. The high pocket gives you a nice looking butt. In more modern jeans, the pocket tends to be brought down and a bit lower. I guess fashion-wise, it's more what people wanted as time went on, but Wrangler have tended to keep their pockets higher up. The back pocket patch is plastic. I don't know how long they've had plastic patches. Some of their models these days do have leather patches, but I believe the plastic patch has been fairly standard on their cowboy cut or regular jeans for quite a while now. They also have on the back pockets, they don't have rivets, they have the bar tacks or the bar tack stitching on the pockets. Now this was introduced so that basically rodeo riders and cowboys didn't scratch their saddles. It's the same reason why Lee took the metal rivets off of theirs as well around the same time. So that's one feature that's really obvious on them. The front pockets, unlike the Lees, if you saw my last video, they don't have the rider pockets. These have the much more square pocket, much more like Levi's and most other jeans. So the pockets aren't as easy to get in. However, the thing about these is because they are a regular fit and because the denim on them is so soft, because the twill denim, Wrangler denim, is actually quite soft, and being a vintage pair, they've worn in a lot, they've been washed a lot, they're actually really easy to get in. And I always tend to go on about the front pockets on jeans, but these are actually really comfy to get in. They have a nice sized pocket. It's not overly huge, but it's not one of these tiny pockets that you only get your hand in halfway. So that's another plus in my books. Nothing much to write home about with the actual pocket lining. It's just a regular cotton twill of some sort. So nothing fantastic or exciting to write home about there. Okay, so sizing wise, these are a vintage size 36, and the straight measurement on them is 17 inches or 43 centimeters. You can see that there. The pockets, once again, the entrance to the pockets is quite small. So if you're looking at your, I guess your depth, you're looking at around about 4.5 inches, 11.5 centimeters. So you can see that there. Width of the pocket, it's around about the same. You're probably looking at around about, 4.5 inches, 11 centimeters, something like that. So you can see that there. The block itself, so from crotch to the top, is 12 inches or 30.5 centimeters, which means that they're not going to be sitting really low on your hip, but they're not a really high cut jean either. So turning them over, you can see that the pockets are quite high up. The tops of the pockets are 4 inches or 10 centimeters from the top of the jeans to the top of the pocket. The pockets themselves, fairly standard pockets. They're not huge, they're not small either. So you're looking at around about 5 inches, 12.5 centimeters by width-wise 5.5 inches, 14 centimeters. So not a massive pocket, but the main thing about the Wranglers is obviously they've kept, even in the modern jeans, and these being a vintage pair definitely, they've got the higher pocket than the most modern jeans these days, which have the pocket lower down. As a matter of fact, let me just grab my nudie jeans and I'll give you a comparison. Okay, so here you go. So you can get a good comparison here. So you can see how on more modern jeans, how the pocket is much lower down. You're looking at around about 5.5 inches, 13 centimeters from the top of the jeans to the top of the pocket, whereas on the vintage Wranglers, you're looking at, as I said before, about 4 inches, 10 centimeters. You can also see the pocket difference. There's quite a big difference in the pocket size. The nudie jeans, the pocket is about 6.5 inches, around about 16.5 centimeters. Once again, just comparing it to the Wranglers, which are about 5.5, 14 centimeters. So there's quite a big difference, obviously, in pocket sizes. The nudie jeans are much more, I guess, contemporary and much more what the vast majority of jeans these days, or a better representation of what most jeans are these days. So turning them over again, just to give you an indication. So your thigh width, you're looking at around about 11 inches, 28 centimeters. At its narrowest point, around about where the knee is for me, you're looking at around about maybe 8.5 inches, 21 centimeters. Yeah, probably 8.5 inches, 21 centimeters. And from that point, it then begins to flare out again. On this particular pair, it flares out to 9.5, 9.75, so about 24 centimeters. I will eventually get these taken up. Currently, I've got them, got a few centimeters I'll probably need to take off. But you're not going to lose a huge amount of the flare if you do that. Yeah, like barely anything at all. Like measuring it out here, you know, I might lose 1/4 of an inch. maybe 1/2 centimetre. So very little that I'll lose on these, because I don't know if they had already been taken up, being that they're vintage. As you can see, they don't have chain stitching on the cuffs. So once again, I don't know if these had already been taken up and just got a regular stitch put on them. So I don't know if they originally had a chain stitch on the bottom or not. They may not have been taken up, so that might just be the way that they came out of the factory. Wranglers, like I said, they were produced much more readily than a lot of the other brands, and as I said, they are more of a workwear brand, so maybe to keep costs down they didn't do the chain stitching on the bottom. There's not a lot of chain stitching on these actually. So there is chain stitching around the top, as you can see there, but it's not really prominent. But yeah, that's pretty much, and they do have, it's a bit hard to tell. I'm not sure if this is actually, oh yeah, and they've got chain stitching, you know, sort of down there's chain stitching down the seams as well. So they've obviously used the stronger, thicker stitching in the most important relevant parts. You've got your copper button as well with the Wrangler logo on it, which is very nice. The colour of them is, I guess, their traditional sort of navy. It's not a really dark indigo. Wrangler actually would recommend, you know, back in the day, to actually wash and put your jeans through the washer and the dryer several times before you wore them. So you would actually end up losing a lot of the really darker colour, and they would actually become a much brighter blue colour. We don't tend to do that these days, or recommend people do that these days, because people want to get all their lovely fades in. But I quite enjoy, I quite like the blue tone of these. I've got plenty of really dark ones, and it's just nice to have something a little bit different, a little, you know, another color that I can pair up with other things like a dark denim jean or a dark denim jacket or something like that. Why don't you turn around rather than having your butt facing everyone? Why don't you? Okay. So why do? So. Both dogs now. So why do I like these jeans so much? They're a really good fit for me. They fit around my waist really well. They don't sit really high, but they're not like a really, you know, they're not sitting really low on my hips either. So they're very comfortable. The thigh is like nice and slim, but it's not skinny, so it's not really, I mean, it's regular, but it really gives an excellent definition to the it really gives an excellent definition to the upper legs, and it does show off the boot cut really nicely. They're not huge and flared, but they're incredibly comfortable, and they look really good. They work well with boots, with sneakers and trainers. They, you know, they're a tough denim as well. They're not a super heavy denim, but they're definitely heavier than like your average pair of jeans. So the denim is really comfortable despite being a heavier weight denim. As a matter of fact, that's actually one thing I forgot to mention before, that the denim, I believe, is about 13 or 14 ounce. These days they're actually about 14.5, something like that ounce. Whereas I think back in the day they were around 13.5 ounce, something like that. So they're certainly a mid-weight denim, which is a bit heavier than your traditional sort of Levi's and Lee's. I really like the broken twill. I'm not too fussed about the whole leg twist thing, but I do like the patterning. I know it's silly, but it just gives it that extra bit of texture, extra bit of interest in the pair of jeans. Yeah, overall, I really like them. Sizing wise on them, these were listed as a 36, and on the tag it does say they're a 36. So They are, but compared to, they'd be about a 34 in a modern pair of jeans. Bloody. Oh, dogs. Okay. Sizing wise, these are labeled as a 36. As a 36. But in modern sizing, they're probably about a 34. Hell, really? Because with modern sizing for men, they've actually changed it to basically make people think they're skinnier than they are. So yes, these are a 36. They fit me exactly the same as a modern pair of 34s. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the video, everyone, and the ridiculous antics of my dogs. Thank you all for watching so much. We've got one more in a pair of jeans in this series coming shortly. Look out for the unboxing very, very soon. Hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all in the next video.